Fine. So, welcome to the day one. Right. In this course, I will be like teaching you obviously Selenium, plus I'll be teaching you the advanced concepts of the frameworks and all everything. Okay. But the first thing is that we will be starting off with Java. Okay. Java is really important. Right. You cannot just do away with Java because Java is the backbone of Selenium. The major mistake which people do is that when they learn Selenium is that they don't learn Java. They directly try to implement the Selenium commands and all, and that creates a problem. So today is day one, and we'll be covering brief introduction of Java, and then tomorrow I'll be covering object-oriented programming. Now, object-oriented programming is really important to learn Selenium. Okay, and then we will start with few Selenium concepts as well. So I'll be teaching you Selenium and Java parallelly. I'll teach you Java concepts and I'll tell you how those concepts are used in Selenium. Right. Okay. Now, the thing is, the first thing is installing Java. I hope everybody has that. Right. So you just have to go to Google and type or download JDK. Okay, you have to download Java, you have to download JDK, which is Java Development Kit. So please install this. Right, not just generally, you have to install JDK. Okay, now after that, you can download Eclipse. Eclipse is the editor of Java language. Right, you can download Eclipse from the Eclipse website. Right, you can download the latest version. That is not an issue. Right, so when you go here, you will see on the Eclipse website, let it open. Right, if you have any questions, you can use the chat option on the top or you can speak up as well. Right, there is a chat option. I'll send a hi message to everybody on this. So you look at this website and you can download the 64-bit Eclipse. That is not a problem. Okay, right. Now, this is done when Eclipse start, when you download it and configure it, you will see Eclipse icon, right, when you start up Eclipse. I hope everybody has that because everybody, almost everybody knows what Eclipse is these days, right? So when Eclipse starts up, it will give you a initial screen. This is known as the workspace launcher. Right. You can give the folder name over here, the path of the folder where you will be working on. Right. You can name it as say our batch is Jan weekday 2018. Sorry, 19. Right. Okay. So I'll just launch everything and it will launch up. Right. Okay. Just a minute. Some people are not able to hear me. Okay, you are not in audio conference. Okay, so I am starting up Eclipse. Right. So meanwhile, Eclipse starts up. Right. There are few frequently asked questions about the course, which I want to answer. Right. And I'll cover those. Right. So basically, people have the question that what all will be taught in the course. Look, I have the day by day distribution with me, which starts from Java to WebDriver to framework and all everything. Right. Okay. And basically, we will cover Java, WebDriver, frameworks, Maven, and TestNG, Jenkins, Grid. So we will be covering this. Okay. The second major question which people ask is that will I get access to the videos? Yes, you will get access to the videos. We record every session. You're going to get the access to the videos of every session. And I'm recording the current session as well, and we will be mailing you the recordings. Okay. Is Java required? I don't know programming. Well, you cannot do away with Java. Java is required. Okay, right. But I'm assuming that you know basic functions. right? Like if statements, for loops, while loops, functions, variables, basics of programming. If you are a kind of person who has never ever done programming, then you can take the videos first, watch them, get some background, and then join the course later on as well. Okay, you just have to pay the difference amount at that time. Okay, right. So eh, I need to help. I need help in my project. I want to clear interview. Well, this is a common question almost because everybody is doing this course for some objective. Right. Look, I'll say that it's not something which you can just do in few days. If you want to learn it, just learn Selenium. It will just take you 10 days. You can learn the commands, you can fiddle around. But if you want to master it and you want to reach a level where you can clear an interview, I would say it will make minimum 6 to 8 weeks or maybe more than that. Okay. It is not something which is tough, but it is something which is little vast. All right. This course will be of nearly 25 to 30 hours, in which 50% of our time will go in learning normal Java WebDriver, TestNG, Grid, Jenkins, and all. And 50% of the time will go on learning a project. Okay. Right. A project is basically a framework, and so 50% time will go on that. Right. Now, this is done. Right. Now, the next thing is we have started Eclipse. This is the welcome screen of Eclipse, right? You can close it, so you will get a screen like this. Fine. In this screen, you will just, you'll get this outline and task list. You can close this. Fine. Now, the first thing which I want to tell you, like I'll move away from Eclipse. The first thing which I want to tell you is that if you go to the official website of Selenium, which is seleniumhq.org, the first line is that Selenium automates browsers. So Selenium is a automation testing tool which is only for web-based applications. It is not for any other, it is only for web-based applications. Fine. If you go to the download section, from here you can download Selenium, the libraries of Selenium and all. Okay, I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, this is Javadoc, right? And Javadoc link. Javadoc link means that for the Java version, this is the documentation of Selenium. If I open this documentation in a new tab, you will see all these things, right? And right now, the current version is 3.141.59. So we'll be working on this version in the training. Okay. If you open the Javadoc link, sorry, look, this documentation you cannot understand until or unless you have the knowledge of object-oriented programming. And that's what we need to go with, right? We need to learn object-oriented programming. Right, so we will be first learning OOPS. We have installed Eclipse, configured Eclipse. Right, so you make a new project in Eclipse. Okay, you go to File, New Project, or go to Other, and under Java, select Java project, and I'll call it as or Web Java and WebDriver. Click on Open Perspective, right, and you can download any version of Eclipse. The latest version will also do. That is not a problem. Okay, right. And this is Java and WebDriver. This is the source folder. Look, source folder is the folder in which you'll be making all the projects. If you right click on this project, you will be seeing many options. One of these options is properties. And if you go to the properties option, you will see a lot of things. You'll be using this. This is the path where the workspace path under which the project is lying. Okay, this was the workspace, right, which we created. This was the workspace, and under this workspace, we created this project. If you open this, you will see that Java and WebDriver will be written out here. Okay, and under that, there will be source folder, which is also visible inside Eclipse. So we'll be writing all the code and Java coding and all everything in the source folder. In the source folder, I'll create another folder. A folder is known as a package. Okay, I'll create a package known as day one. Okay, a package means a folder inside folder. So in your hard drive as well, if you look under the source folder, you will have the day one folder. Right. So let us just create a simple Java file under day one. I will just call it a new. Right click and you create a new class. Fine. And I'll call it basics of Java with the main function. Okay, we will have the main function in it. So you will have code being made like this, right? Public class basics of Java. So this is a class, right? This is the opening bracket of the class and the closing bracket. All the coding is done inside this class. This is the main function. Every programming language has the main function. Okay. Uh, so Java also has the main function, which is the starting point of execution. What is public, static, void, and all? I cannot tell you that right now, but just accept these things as they are, public, static, and all. Right, because as we proceed with object-oriented programming, then I can tell you the relevance of these words. Right. So this is the starting function. Inside it, if I type system.out.println, which is as the shortcut is this is the command to type something. Okay, right. And I write hello and I save this code and I run this Java file. Okay, system.out.println is the command to print something. The shortcut is you can type syso and hit the control space bar of the keyboard. You will get sysout option and you can select that and you can print anything. Right. Okay. So you save this file and you run it. For running it, this is the button, run button. You can click on this and this file will run as a Java program and it will print hello and Selenium in the console at the bottom. This is the console screen. You can also run it by right clicking on the file and simply selecting run as a Java application. Right. Then also this will execute. Now, a few things about Eclipse before I move ahead. Right. Sometimes as beginners, we are new and you close the console by mistake and you really don't know how to bring it back. And then people come to us. So you can bring it back by going to Window, Show View, and you can select Console from here. So it will come back. So any window, even Package Explorer, if you close by mistake, you can get it back by going to Window, Show View, Package Explorer, and okay, right. Now out here, I've just printed two words. Now I am assuming you know basic things like what integer is, what string is, right? Okay. I'm assuming basic things that you know what a for loop is, what while loop is, what if statements are, right? Okay, because these are very basics. These are available in every programming language. Right. So my objective is to move towards object-oriented programming as soon as possible. Right. Now, before I tell you about other things, the most important thing which I want to tell you is debugging in Java language. Okay. Debugging in Java language. Fine. All right. Now, I want to talk about debugging. Right. Debugging means running a program line by line and checking the status. Right. For example, if I write a for loop over here, for debugging helps a lot if you are a beginner, right? And it, it's very important. Okay, okay. I was already declared. I need this check. Right. Now, if I write system.out.println, it will, and I write I cross 5. And if you run it, it will be kind of printing the table for 5 from 5 cross 0 to 5 cross 9. Okay, 5 cross 0 is 0, 5 cross 1. When I is 1, it is printing 5. When I is 2, it is printing 10. Now you can run this program line by line as well. And you can check the status of every variable when you are running the program. You can double click on any one of the any line. Say I double click on this line where it is printing Selenium. I'll double click over here. You will see a small blue dot coming up. This blue dot is known as a breakpoint. And when I execute the program, I'll not execute it from this run button. I'll execute it from this debug button. Fine. And when I run it, it will switch to this screen. You might get a pop-up in front of you that whether you have to open the debug screen or debug perspective. You say yes, you want to, and you'll get a screen like this. Okay. Now this is debug perspective. The green line over here means that the control has stopped on this line. You close the outline. Okay, that's not needed. Okay. Right. And only hello is printed right now because this line has been executed. And the control stops on the line on which I had put the breakpoint. Out here, there is a variable section where you can see the status of every variable. I'll show you. You hit F6 of the keyboard. If you hit F6, this line will get executed and Selenium will get printed. Then J is 100. Then you again hit F6 of the keyboard. And over here, you will be seeing the variable J. The value for J is 100. It will come up. Even if you move your mouse over J, you will see the value of J is 100. Right. Then you hit F6 again and you will have the S variable with the value here there. So every variable, the value of every variable at a runtime will be visible in the variable screen. Right. Or if you move the mouse over the variable, you'll be able to see the value. Now the for loop starts. For I equals to 0, I less than 10. See, I, the value becomes 0 initially, right? And the value of I is 0. So you hit I cross 5, which is 0 cross 5. It will print 0. You can run the program line by line. So you see it's printing 0. Now you hit F6 again. The loop starts for the second time. The value of I now becomes 1. Okay, the value of I becomes 1 and 1 cross 5 is 5. So you can keep on running it. At runtime, you can keep on checking the value of I. See it is increasing and you can run it line by line. If I hit F8 instead of F6, F6 is used to run line by line. If I hit F8, it will just run normally and terminate the program and end it. Okay, right. So in debugging, you have F6, which runs line by line, and you have F8, which is run normally. Look, these must be things which you know. Many of you must be knowing these things, but I'm starting from basics because there are people in this training who are not aware of few things. Okay. And why am I starting with debugging is because when you are a beginner and when you're running program, you really don't know what's happening and what's going wrong. So in debugging, you can actually come to know what is going wrong by running the program line by line. I can put multiple breakpoints. I can put a breakpoint on this line. Then maybe I can put a breakpoint on this line. And I run it, it will stop. You have to run it in the debug mode with this debug button. It will stop on the first breakpoint. I can hit F6 and keep on running it line by line. Or if I hit F8, it will run normally and stop on the next breakpoint. Okay, then I can hit F6 again, or I can hit F8 to just run it normally. See, whenever I'm hitting F8 on the for loop, it is stopping on the next iteration. Okay, I hit F8, it stops on the next iteration. Right, so it runs, in the end, it runs normally. Right, you can switch back. This is the debug perspective in Eclipse. You can switch back to the regular Java perspective as well. There is a open perspective icon at top left over here. You click on this and you select Java and your normal view will be back. Okay, right. This is really important, debugging. Okay, otherwise it's very tough, right, to find out what is going wrong, especially when you are new. All right. Now, if I open the location of the project which I was showing you, so under the source folder under day one, you will see this Java file created, which we just debugged. And if you go back to the project, you will see a bin folder over here, which is not available inside Eclipse. Okay, if you open this bin folder, you again find day one over here. And under this, you will see basics Java dot class file. Every Java file at compile time is converted to class file. If you open this class file, you won't be able to understand anything. Okay, this class file is like an executable file. You can deploy it on any operating system and this will execute. That is why, Selenium is available in different languages because Java works on, sorry, Selenium work with Java is preferred. I'm sorry, just ignore the earlier line. That was a mistake. That is why Selenium with Java is preferred because Java is platform independent. Java can run on any operating system. Maybe I can deploy this class file on Linux and this will still run. It is platform independent. Okay, every Java file is converted to a class file. Okay, if I just create a new class known as print name with the main function and I just print inside it system.out.println Selenium. Okay, and if I run it, it's printing Selenium out here. Right. So if you look at the day one folder, so print name.class file will be visible over here. Okay, this class file is like an executable file. All right, and you can simply go and run on any operating system. So every Java file is converted into a class file. And when we have multiple class files together, sometimes when we have a project, okay, we just don't make one or two Java files. When we have a project, we tend to make lot of different class files or lot of different Java files. Every Java file is converted to a class file. And suppose we have to deliver these class files to the client or anywhere. So we put them in a single file. This single file is known as a jar file. So a jar file is nothing but a combination of many class files. Okay, we put many class files under a single file that is known as a jar file. And we give this jar file to the client. For example, when you install Java inside Eclipse, this is JRE system library. This is Java which is installed on your system. If you expand this, you will see many jar files. Every jar file, if I expand any of one of the jar files, will contain class files. See, so many class files are there. We can use these class files. We can use the features, the already existing features of these class files. Who has provided these class files? These class files are provided by people who made Java. Okay. When you install Java on your PC, these jars they came up and they got and Eclipse automatically picks up these jars and all, and it you can see there are many classes under every jar file. For example, if I just write over here system.out.println new date. What is new? Just forget about it right now. I'm just giving you an example. Date is one of the class files in one of these jars which I've imported. Okay. And when I run this code, print name.java, it prints the current date, day of the week, time zone, year. So I never had to write the code to print all these things. The date class in Java did that. And this date class is somewhere inside these jar files. So the functionality is inbuilt, given to us by the Java guys in form of a jar file, which is having multiple classes under it. And I have used one of the inbuilt classes known as date. Somebody in the Java company or Oracle, they must have made a file known as, just like we have made a file known as basics.java, they would have made a file known as date.java, converted into a class file, put it into a jar file, and sent it across to us. And we can simply use it. Okay, right. So you can simply run this and the current system date, time zone, everything will be printed. Similarly, same thing happens in Selenium. Everything in Selenium is inbuilt. You just have to download the jars of Selenium. You go to this download section, you go to the official website of Selenium, click on the download section, and you download this version for the jar file. Okay, it is getting downloaded on my PC. Yeah, it's got downloaded, and if you open it, hold on. Just a minute. Yeah, this is the downloaded file. Right, I'll copy it. Hold on. I think I already have it. 341.59.59. Yeah, I already have it. Yes. So when you extract the zip file, you'll get a folder like this. In this folder, you will have client combined jar file. This is the main jar file of Selenium. Okay, right. This is given by the Selenium guys. This is sources jar. You don't need this. This contains the source code of Selenium. It's open source, so they distribute the source code as well. You don't need this. You need this jar and all the jars under the library directory. Under the list directory, there are many other jars. You will need these. Okay. So you can include these jars in your project manually to make your project Selenium enabled. Okay. You can right click on the project, go to the properties, go to the Java build path. Fine. You will see the Java build path. There you will see 4 tabs. Go to the libraries tab, click on the button add external jars, and then add the jar file client combine. This is the main jar file. And also add the jar file under the libs directory. Don't forget to add all the jars under the libs directory in this project. You add all the jars, click apply and close, and you will see a referenced library section generated here. Make sure you are there in the Java perspective, then only you will see reference library section. And under that, you will see all the jars which you have just included. These are the jars of Selenium. They contain internal classes, just like date was an internal class. And you can use these internal classes to work with Selenium very easily. You can work with browsers, you can automate them using these jars. They have got inbuilt classes and functionalities. But to understand those things, you need to understand concepts of object-oriented programming. Okay, for example, if I just write over here new Chrome driver is one of the classes which I know is present in one of these jars. Okay. And when you write this command, that won't work. It will only work on my PC because there are few settings which have to be done. But just I'm giving you an example. Just by creating the object of this internal class Chrome driver, I'm able to launch a Chrome browser. You see that? I'm able to launch this Chrome browser just by creating object of internal class. You won't be able to do it because there are some additional settings and all which have to be done. But objective is not to teach you Selenium or this command right now. My objective is to tell you that everything is inbuilt. Okay. And this is how Selenium is configured. It is not installed. You just have to put the jar files under Java build path. Okay, Ahmed, I just told you how to do it. You don't have to go into Eclipse folders and configure it. You just have to go into the project properties and configure Eclipse jar files. That's it. There is no installation. There is nothing known as installation of of Selenium. Selenium is configured. You need to just download the jar files and then attach them in the project. That's it. You don't have to install. There is no exe, nothing. Okay, right. So the next thing is oops, and I'll start off with that tomorrow. We just had a brief introductory session today. If anybody has any questions, then please let me know. Please let me know if you have any questions. Anyone with any questions, doubts regarding the course, anything, you can chat or you can speak up. right? By unmuting yourself.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? I'm Ahmed, Mohidin Ahmed. Can you hear me?
Your voice is very low.
Now it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm very beginner here. And that's why this I am asking again and again like this Selenium jar file configuration or Java which version I have to install or
you can
Eclipse.
install JDK 8. When you download JDK
Mm-hmm.
from Google,
Yeah,
type download JDK 8. Don't download 10, download JDK 8, and you can download the latest version of Selenium from the Selenium website.
okay,
Okay.
okay. JDK 8 has any version like
No,
JDK
no, simply 8, JDK 8. You can
Okay,
go
okay.
here and go to the Oracle website, and on the Oracle website you will see this Java SC development kit, and you
This
can
one,
download it.
201.
Yeah, you can download it.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Anybody else with any questions?
Hi, I'm Prachi. Can you tell a little more on the referenced library?
Reference library section holds the jar files which you add in the project.
Okay. When we code, the inbuilt functions of these referenced files will only be taken. Is that
It depends.
okay?
It depends. For example, I have written new Chrome driver over here.
Mhm.
Okay, and when you write it, you'll get an error, and you have to import it from this package. Okay, and it automatically refers it. It doesn't matter. It finds it then.
Okay. Either you
Okay.
use import or you have this referenced library folder.
No, no. Import is mandatory. Without
Okay.
import, this will not work. Okay. Without import, it imports it from either from the reference libraries only.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
This
so
Chrome driver
we have
class is present somewhere in these jars. It imports it.
we have to configure driver browser driver.
That I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay. I did
Okay, okay.
not tell you
That's
how
the
to
thing I want to know.
configure the drivers and
Okay,
all.
okay, okay,
Because you will get an error when you can import it, but when you run it, you'll get an error. The drivers and all, I'll tell you tomorrow how to configure it.
Okay. And is it a I mean good practice to listen to your video first and then come to the session, or how do you,
Look,
because these
for the Java ones, I tell you that fine. If before the sessions, if you can watch the Java modules, that will be great. Selenium is fine. Selenium, I'm going to cover in very much depth.
okay, okay, and we will have the access to the videos, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you, Ashish.
Thank you. So class will be at 6:55 a.m. Indian time. It will be enabled, and by around 7 or 7:05, I will be starting off the training. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, approximately 1 hour. Yes, 1 hour a day approximately.
class will be start from tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow also you'll get a new invitation.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
For the regular class or it's a demo class?
It's a regular only, but first three classes are demos, so
Oh
after
yeah,
that
yeah,
the
yeah.
regular ones will start, but they'll go in a flow.
Okay, okay. So may I know your name, please? I
Ashish, Ashish.
mispronounced. Okay, Ashish sir. Okay, thank you.
So, all right then, fine. I'll send you the recording of the classes and the invitation for tomorrow. Okay.
yeah,
Sometimes the mail goes into spam. Just check your spam as well. Okay.
sure, sure, yeah.
All right, fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.